Class 9 Behave English Chapter 6 Childhood by A.P.J. Abdul Kalam. Thinking about the text. 1. Answer these questions in 1 or 2 sentences each. 1. Where was Abdul Kalam's house? 2. What do you think Dina Imani is the name of? Give a reason for your answer. 3. Who were Abdul Kalam's school friend? What did they later become? 4. How did Abdul Kalam earn his first wages? 5. Had he earned any money before that? In what way? Answer. 1. Abdul Kalam's house was on the Mosque Street in Rameshwaram. 2. Dinamani is the name of a local newspaper. It is so because Kalam traced the story of the war in the headlines in Dinamani. 3. Ramananda Shastri, Arvindan and Shiv Prakashans were Abdul Kalam's school friends. Ramananda Shastri became the high priest of the Rameshwaram temple. Arvindan, a transport businessman, and Shiv Prakashan was the catering contractor for the Southern Railway. 4. During the Second World War, the newspaper were bundled and thrown out of a moving train. Abdul Kalam earned his first wages by helping his cousin who distributed newspaper in Rameshwaram to catch these bundles. 5. Yes, Abdul Kalam had earned some money before he started helping his cousin. When the Second World War broke out, there was a sudden demand for tamarind seeds in the market. He collected the seeds and sold them to a provision shop on Mosque Street. Usually a day's collection earned him on 1 anna. 2. Answer each of these questions in a short paragraph about 30 words. 1. How does the author describe his father, his mother, himself? 2. What characteristic does he say he inherited from his parents? Answer. 1. First, Kalam's father. Zainalabuddin was not a wealthy or educated person. However, he was an honest and generous man who possessed great innate wisdom. He was self-disciplined and avoided all inessential luxuries. Second, Kalam's mother, Ashamma, was an idle helpmate to her husband. She believed in goodness and profound kindness and fed many people every day. Third, the author described himself as a short boy with undistinguished looks who had a secure childhood. He is an honest and self-disciplined person who believes in goodness and deep kindness. 2. He says that he inherited honesty and self-discipline from his father. He further says that he inherited faith in goodness and deep kindness from his mother. 3rd, discuss these questions in class with your teacher and then write down your answers in 2 or 3 paragraphs each. 1. On the whole, the small society of Rameshwaram was very rigid in terms of the segregations of different social groups, says the author. First, which social group does he mention? Were these groups easily identifiable, for example, by the way they dressed? Second, were they aware only for their differences or did they also naturally share friendship and experiences? Think of the bedtime stories in Kalam's house of who his friends were and of what used to take place in the pond near his house. Third, the author speaks both of people who were very aware of the differences among them and those who tried to bridge these differences. Can you identify such people in the text? Fourth, narrate 2 incidents that show how differences can be created and also how they can be resolved. How can people change their attitude? Answers. First, he mentioned 2 social groups of Rameshwaram, Orthodox Brahmins and Muslims. Yes, these groups were easily identifiable, for example, by the way they dressed. Kalam wore a cap which marked him as a Muslim. Ramadan Shastri wore a Sikh thread which marked him a Hindu. Second, no, they were not only aware of their differences but also they naturally shared friendship and experiences. Kalam's mother and grandmother would tell the children of his family bedtime stories about the events from the Ramayana and from the life of the Prophet. During the Sri Sita Kalyanam ceremony, his family used to arrange boats with a special platform for carrying idols of the Lord from the temple to the marriage site, situated in the middle of the pond called Rama Tirtha, which was near his house. Third, the people who were very aware of the differences among them were the young teachers who joined the Rameshwaram Elementary School and came to teach Kalam's class, the 5th standard, and his science teachers who refused to serve Kalam in her visually full kitchen. Those who tried to bridge these differences were Kalam's science teacher, Shiva Subramaniam Iyer, who invited, served and then dined with him to break social barriers so that people could mingle easily, and Lakshmana Shastri, who conveyed the strong sense of convictions to the new young teacher to reform him. Fourth, the first incident to show that how differences can be created is that when the new young teacher found a Muslim student sitting beside a Hindu student, he asked Kalam to sit in the last row. His friend Ramadan Shastri was heartbroken. They informed their respective parents. Lakshman Shastri summoned the teacher and conveyed the strong sense of convictions which ultimately reformed him. The other incident shows that how differences can be resolved. The other science teacher, Shiva Subramaniam Iyer, taught an orthodox Brahmin with a very conservative tire to bridge these differences. People can change their attitude by observing no differences in the way of Hindu and a Muslim eating of meals, drinking of water and cleaning of the floor. 2. First, why did Abdul Kalam want to leave Rameshwaram? 2. What did his father say to this? 3. What do you think his words mean and why do you think he spoke those words? Answer. First, Kalam wanted to leave Rameshwaram for further studies. He wanted to study at the district headquarters in Ramanathapuram. Second, Kalam's father said that he knew that one day Kalam had to go away to grow. He gave him the analogy of a seagull that flies across the sun alone and without a nest. He then quoted Khalil Gibran to Kalam's mother, saying that her children were not their own children. They were the son and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through their parents, but not from them. They may give them their love, but not their thoughts, as the children have their own thoughts. Third, Abdul Kalam's father's words bear a great meaning. First, he inspired his son to go ahead above giving the example of the seagull. Secondly, he explained Kalam's mother to give his son opportunities to get higher education and to make progress. I think he spoke those words to encourage Abdul Kalam and to control the emotional attachment of his wife for Kalam. Oh. Rewrite the sentences below, changing the verbs in brackets into the passive form. 1. In yesterday's competition, the prize giveaway by the principal. 2. In spite of financial difficulties, the laborers pay no on time. 3. On Republic Day, vehicles not allowed beyond this point. 4. Second-hand books buy and sell on the pavement every Saturday. 5. Elections to the Lok Sabha hold every 5 years. 6. Our national anthem composed Rabindranath Tagore. Answers. 1. In yesterday's competition, the prizes were given away by the principal. 2. In spite of financial difficulties, the laborers were paid on time. 3. On Republic Day, vehicles are not allowed beyond this point. 4. Second-hand books are brought and sold on the pavement every Saturday. 5. Elections to the Lok Sabha are held every 5 years. 6. Our national anthem was composed by Rabindranath Tagore. 5. Rewrite the paragraphs below using the correct form of the verbs given in the bracket. 1. How helmets came to be used in cricket. Nari Contractor was a captain and an opening batsman for India in the 1960s. The Indian cricket team went on a tour to the West Indies in 1962 in a match against Barbados in Bricktown. Nari contractor seriously injured and collapsed. In those days, helmets not wear. Contractor's hit on the head by a bouncer from Charlie Griffith. Contractor's skull's fracture. The entire team deeply concerned. The West Indies players worry. Contractor rushed to hospital. He, accompanied by Frank Worrell and the captain of the West Indies team. Blood donated by the West Indies player thanks to the timely help contractor saved. Nowadays helmets routinely used against the bowlers. Answer 1. How helmet came to be used in cricket. Nadi Contractor was the captain and opening batsman for India in the 1960s. The Indian cricket team went on a tour to the West Indies in 1962 in a match against Barbados in Bridgetown. Nadi Contractor got seriously injured and collapsed. In those days, helmets were not worn. Contractor was hit on the head by the bouncer from Charlie Griffiths. Contractor's skull had fractured. The entire team was deeply concerned. The West Indies players were worried. Contractor was rushed to hospital. He was accompanied by Frank Worrell, the captain of the West Indies team. Blood was donated by the West Indies players. Thanks to the timely help, Contractor was saved. Nowadays, helmets are routinely used against the bowlers. 2. Oil from seeds. Vegetable oils made from seeds and fruits of many plants growing all over the world. From tiny sesame seeds to big juicy coconuts. Oil produced from cotton seeds, groundnuts, soya beans and sunflower seeds. Olive oil used for cooking, salad dressing, etc. Olives shake from the trees and gathered up usually by hand. The olives ground to the thick paste which is spread into a special mat. Then the mat layer up on the pressing machine which will gently squeeze them to produce olive oil. Answer 2. Oils from seeds. Vegetable oils are made from seeds and fruits of many plants growing all over the world. From tiny sesame seeds to big juicy coconuts. Oil is produced from coconut seeds, groundnuts, soya beans and sunflower seeds. Olive oil is used for cooking, salad dressing, etc. Olives are shaken from the trees and gathered up usually by hand. The olives are ground to a thick paste which is spread onto a special mat. Then the mats are layered up on the pressing machine which will gently squeeze them to produce olive oil.